first, it was just a casual conversation, but somehow we quickly connected. We shared a deep passion for design, creativity, and art. Our discussions about ambitions and future projects became a regular thing, often stretching for hours over cups of coffee, surrounded by sketches, models, and scattered notes. Brandon was a traditional thinker with a strong Catholic faith, something that intrigued me at first because it was so different from how I was raised. I grew up in a more open-minded family where I had the freedom to choose my own path, but perhaps that contrast was what drew me to him. He was calm, patient, and always thought things through before making any decision. Meanwhile, I was more spontaneous, embracing creativity and independence. We had an amazing time together. He helped me brainstorm for my design projects, and I, in turn, inspired his architectural work. But like any relationship, things weren't always perfect. The more we got to know each other, the more we noticed our differences. The turning point one weekend, my friends invited me out. It was just a simple get-together, dinner, casual chats, and some music. I didn't think much of it. Before dating Brandon, I used to have nights like this all the time. Plus, I believed that in a relationship, both people should have their own space. That night, I texted Brandon, letting him know that I was going out with friends. He didn't reply. I figured he was busy studying, so I didn't overthink it. I had fun, laughed a lot, and lost track of time. When I got home, I checked my phone and saw a message from him. "You went out all night without telling me first." I was a bit surprised. I had told him, but I realized that what he meant was that I hadn't asked for permission beforehand. That made me uncomfortable. I didn't think I needed anyone's approval to make personal choices. I replied calmly, explaining that it was just a normal night out and nothing serious. But he left my message on read. The next day, I tried reaching out, but Brandon remained silent. I assumed he was upset and just needed some time. I decided to give him space, hoping he'd cool down. But then, something unexpected happened. Brandon's revenge. That evening, while scrolling through social media, I saw a post from Brandon. It was a picture of him hanging out with a group of girls I had never heard him mention before. What was unusual was that Brandon rarely posted on social media, yet this time, he included a caption that felt a little too pointed. "Life has more surprises than we think." I instantly understood what was going on. This wasn't just a random post. He was trying to make me jealous. A strange mix of emotions hit me. I wasn't the type to get jealous easily, but the fact that he deliberately did this to get back at me made me more disappointed than angry. I didn't text him right away. Instead, I wanted to see if he would bring it up himself. And as I expected, the next morning, he sent me a message. "I went out with some friends last night. It was fun." I smirked as I read his text. It was obvious he wanted me to know about his night. But rather than starting an argument, I asked him to meet in person to talk. When we sat across from each other at our usual coffee shop, I looked him straight in the eye and asked, "Do you really think revenge is the best way to handle this?" Brandon stayed silent for a moment, then sighed. He admitted that he felt hurt when I went out without telling him in advance. To him, a relationship meant respecting and considering each other's feelings. My actions made him feel like I didn't value his thoughts. I, on the other hand, was honest with him. I didn't like feeling controlled. I understood that people have different perspectives on relationships, but instead of retaliating, we should have just communicated openly from the start. Lessons learned. After that conversation, we both gained a better understanding of each other. Brandon realized that should have just expressed his feelings directly. And I understood that while I valued my independence, I also needed to be more considerate of his feelings. No relationship is perfect, but the key is not avoiding conflicts. It's about how you handle them. If both people keep trying to get even, the only result is mutual pain. From that